Oh shit! Hold on. We don't have our names, Jeff.
Oh no! Oh no! It's okay. We'll we'll, we'll do it. Do you see the link?
Yeah, I got it.
Okay, cool.
Oh, let me just tweet it out right now.
Tick a click, click, click. Oh shit! Don't track my face.
Episode is this? 33?
It is episode 33. If it's wrong, well, that sucks. I'm pretty sure it's 33. I made it.
Damn it, Jeff. While I was tweeting, you're doing the thing, eh? And you're the worst. What? Who's a bastard? You're a bastard.
Who's a bad bastard?
Who?
Ooh. Oh. Wah wah wah. Wah wah wah. Wah wah wah.
What is happening with your mouth? Nice. Okay, I'm good.
Okay.
Wait for this.
Oh yeah.
All right.
I think.
Hold on. Let me start recording.
Oh yeah. Move that mic as close as you can to your mouth. If
Why?
Just
Was it
nice.
weaker? It was weaker.
It was weaker last episode. It just sounds nice when you have it like closer-ish.
Why didn't you tell me this sooner? Why didn't you wait until we were already broadcasting live?
It's the episode that counts.
Does it though? Does it? All right, cool.
Oh, right. Yeah, let me retweet. You stupid people.
What?
They just keep playing the video. They think that's cool. They think that's okay.
Is it IBT?
Though? Yeah, dude. Every single time. This is happening with that same company.
Okay. I got my headphones.
Retweet. Boom.
All right.
Okay.
All right.
In 3, 2. Welcome, everybody, to the 33rd episode of Tech Laundry. I'm Jeff.
And I'm Tertius.
And today we're talking about cutting ourselves with razors, the bleeding edge. Or
oh my god, that got dark. You should not have started this way.
No, because now they're listening. We got the clincher in, dude. They're listening.
I think if they downloaded the podcast and they clicked it, I think we had them.
Or people who shave. If you shave often, you know exactly how many times you get cut with a razor.
Oh.
Some people more than others. Sometimes
this is not what we want to talk about.
New razors. No, not at all like that at all. We're talking about the bleeding edge of technology. And recently...
Okay, well, explain what, like bleeding edge means, Jeff.
Bleeding edge is exactly what it means. I don't know. How do you explain it? I
think it's like if you're at the forefront of technology, it's like there's some kind of, like growing pains and kind of pain attached to it. Like for instance, like when Apple got rid of the floppy drive, people are like freaking out because they're like, how are we going to deal with this?
So off story. I remember my librarian back in elementary school when she handed us a floppy disk. It was like the 3.5 inch. And she was like, this can hold the entire, like, this can hold all the text and all the books in this library in this one disk. That was total bullshit. That was not true at all. There's a lot of books and like, there's no, like, it's like 1.44 megs. Like how big it was. It was small.
She might mean like just the words, not like PDFs or images. It's just words.
I think even with words, all of the books in the entire library, our school library, which was like it's a pretty decent collection. I was like, I think she's bullshitting us.
Anyway. I mean, like text is not very big, Jeff. I think she might have, it's not like, if it's not like a Word file, it's like a text edit document,
Yeah, but like, I still think like, even so, she was like, I don't know. She's like trying to
Like
wow us with her.
stretching the.
She was like really pushing it, and I was like not having it. And to this day, I remember it. And
You still resent her. Like you think about her every day. Like, this is why I do what I do, to educate people on the truth.
bring justice. And now you guys know my story. That was
Yeah.
back in like second grade. That was a long time ago.
I can just like picture second grade Jeff like just calling his like librarian off, like, you're full of shit, lady.
Like don't that's funny because during that same time, I also looked up Jeff.com, and the same guy
He's coming up.
this same guy who owns Jeff.com is still running it today. Asshole. Anyhow, so that is not anything about the bleeding edge because that's old tech.
Yeah.
But
we're in the now, you guys.
we're in the
We
now.
live in the future.
It is the most current of the technologically aging things that we can possibly get to.
We're in the modern age, you guys. Like,
The modern age.
as time as we perceive it, well, this is the kind of the latest it's been.
And so the reason we're bringing this up is because there's a lot of development that has kind of been rumored about the new iPhone 7, which is scheduled to come out sometime this year, probably September? Is that when they do it?
Yeah, around like they announced September release around October, like with new iPads and stuff. Well, the most prevalent rumor is that a lot of people are saying that Apple will try to get rid of the 3.5 millimeter headphone jack, which has been standard on basically every smartphone like since its inception, and this is like to have more room for battery or to make it thinner is like the reasons I've heard, and a lot of people are kind of up in arms about this.
Yeah, people were very attached to their 3.5 millimeter jacks, and I was actually reading an article. I didn't know how old the quarter inch and the 3.5. Those jacks are like from like the turn of the century, like they're from like the 1900s, like
Wow.
really really old technology that we've kept as a standard because it's just we've managed to make it work all these years. So pretty cool, but also kind of sad because if they do remove that jack, I mean that's like a big turn. It's like coming of age.
Yeah,
It's like a big change, like we've
yeah.
never done it before.
I mean, especially since like you and me, we've like, we've invested on our like audio gear, like a lot of companies are like, I just got my M50Xs from Audio Technica like late last year, like I like the security making, like there is nothing better than having like headphones plugged into your phone because there's no latency, there's nothing like kind of, you can be assured that, it's not gonna like fall off and run away from you. Because it's there. And sometimes my headphones have saved my phone. Like they've stayed attached to my ear. And like, oh! And it gives me enough time to like yank it back down from
like
falling.
reel it back up like a fishing line.
Yeah. So there's like a little nice kind of security feature that, I'm sure isn't standard. But I feel like a lot of people would be kind of pissed off if the 3.5 millimeter jack was removed. I mean, would you?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I would be. So this is the whole thing about the bleeding edge is that particularly with Apple, they've always pushed an agenda of some sort, and there's always been some sort of cost, whether it's been like the change to optical media, or dropping optical the CD drives, drives, going straight for having one USB-C port on the new MacBooks, or dropping FireWire. Or like, when the first iPhone came out, you couldn't even properly plug in most headphone jacks. You had to get an extender for it because it was like kind of nested inside the case. And so Apple's kind of fucked up a lot of stuff. Whenever they've done that, they've always tried to push something to just get people onto it right away.
Yeah, it's like they're kind of pushing their idea of their version of the future. And in this case, like ever since the kind of announcement of the latest MacBook, they've been like really pushing the kind of the wireless world. Like a world without cords, a world without like kind of like strenuous things. Like the whole one port for your MacBook thing was pretty revolutionary in its sense. But like, I mean, they did the same thing with optical drives, for crying out loud. Like you mentioned before, like, I mean, I've suffered from the bleeding edge too. Like, for instance, like this isn't a library story. So remember when I told you like last year I got really into finally watching Firefly. So I watched that like on Netflix. Not Netflix. Was it Netflix? Where did I
Probably
watch
Netflix.
it? What's it Netflix?
It
Any
was on
any
Netflix.
case. It was probably Netflix, and I binged that thing like nonstop. It was like I was kind of hooked. I finished it in like 2 days or a day. I think it was like one night and one morning, and I finished it.
That's a all right. Yeah, that's how
It's
you do it.
gross. Yeah, I know. Like so, when I binge something, okay, and it's gross. In any case, so my friend let me borrow her DVD of Serenity. Okay, just full on the movie that that ties in with the show, and I haven't watched it, and it's been like 2 months because my MacBook Pro does not have a DVD drive. It just doesn't. Like,
I used to do that like when I used to reformat like my computer like once every like 6 months usually.
yeah.
And I mean
Oh, I
back
remember like Disk Defragment. Remember
yeah,
that?
I used to do that too, but now your operating system just does that inherently. Like I don't have to
Yeah.
schedule it or worry about it. Like even OS X has it built in, but it's kind
Hmm.
of just doing its own thing.
Yeah.
But, like if I'm reformatting, I have to like bring in like the get like a copy of like Windows and like put it in the drive and have it run off that. And there was like a time where like you couldn't boot off USB drives yet, so like I just for a lot of times I just didn't put a CD drive in my PC, and I was like, well, how am I gonna reformat? And I like do this whole crazy setup where I have like a actual CD drive just dangling off the side to try and just to get it to work for this
Yeah.
one like 15-minute segment, and then I could just disconnect it. Um, yeah, leading edge is kind of great, and it kind of sucks.
Yeah. I mean,
Good
like,
amount of time.
Apple has been correct in terms of the way we no longer consume a lot of media that way. I mean, this is the first DVD I've actually picked up in like a long time. Like for me, like most of the time, I'm just watching things on HBO or on like or like on streaming, just anything other than a physical copy. So it really does make like when's the last time you actually used a DVD drive as a storage tool?
I've only had Bird DVDs for clients who want
Mhm.
videos on DVD. That was the
Yeah,
I never have like personally used it for anything.
yeah.
That was the time.
And when's the last time you used an actual flash drive other than for reformatting your laptop? I mean, I have like 4 or 5 flash drives, and I haven't touched any of them because I have everything on the cloud now.
Yeah, I if I have to do something, I actually don't reach for flash drive. I reach for drive.google.com and
Yeah,
drag and drop it into there. I actually don't. When's the last time I used it? I think last time I did it was also just to
yeah,
migrate like a huge project
yeah,
file that I had to run like a video project that was on a different machine. That was
exactly.
a long time. Very specific uses.
Hmm.
They still got their uses. They're okay, but yeah, in general, I can't think of a time where I'm like actually getting to that.
Yeah, and I rarely ever plug in my phone to my laptop anymore. If I ever want to send files, I just use AirDrop and I charge with a cord plugged into my wall,
Or you could do
never to
Wi-Fi,
my
Wi-Fi
laptop.
sync
Yeah,
and stuff. Like
exactly,
it's crazy how much the cloud is really just completely overridden any of my need for like plugging something into something.
exactly. I mean,
Um,
when you think about it, it's like those things can be lost. You can drop them. You can get stepped on, and stuff like that. But like having the cloud there is a constant thing. It's basically killed the need for optical, like any kind of physical medium.
so there's a going back to the whole headphone thing.
Hmm.
There is like some benefit that could happen. Like there exists lightning to 3.5 jack.
Yeah,
Um,
I'm sure that will always be a thing. Like Apple always makes an adapter for like the kind of people who don't want to embrace it that quickly. But it's like always going to be like an $80 accessory.
yeah, and hopefully it doesn't turn into like some weird thing where like at least it'll be included with your phone or something
Hmm.
or otherwise. But people have said that maybe because you might be able to include a digital audio converter that's better than what's on your normal devices.
Hmm.
You might be able to actually get a net benefit in terms of sound quality out of
Oh,
your
okay.
so like you'd plug in, your adapter that has a DAC, which is what it's called. That's like better than what's in the stock iPhone. It will use that one, and you'll get better sound out of it to power your like bigger drivers in your headphones or whatnot. Um, so there could be like it could be more modular, maybe like you
Hmm.
could actually like get like oh this one's for
Yeah.
I don't know if you're just a person who listens to like maybe like raw audio files that are very high bit rate,
Yeah.
you probably get something out of it. I don't think. Have you ever like taken that test? It's like, can you tell the difference between audio quality? Like this one's AAC
I
and this one's
I
MP3.
think like half of it is part of like what kind of headphones you're wearing. You know,
Yeah, I
it
know.
really does make a huge difference, like how much you've invested in your headphones.
Holy crap! This audio play video. Oh, sorry. I could stupid video. I swear to God. Autoplay video, guys. If it's gonna autoplay, at least be muted. God,
Yeah,
just the
like on
worst.
Facebook.
Yeah, at least Facebook does it right.
Yeah,
Even then, I have like dubious feel about that.
dubious
Oh,
feel.
dubious feel.
Yeah.
So in the theme of the cutting edge at CES,
Hmm.
they announced something called Braggy, or is it
Well, no,
Braggy?
this wasn't an announcement. Like they knew that there was like a Kickstarter funded project, and they announced that this was going to be released soon.
But you get to
And
like touch it. You can finally get to like touch it and
yeah,
see
like
it. It's the
here's
real
the
deal.
final product. Yeah. So
Um,
can you tell our viewers what Bragi is?
so Bluetooth headphones have been getting pretty small. Like I have in my hands the Bluetooth Jaybirds X, and these
Hmm.
have been great. And they have a wire on the back that connect the two earbuds.
Yeah.
That's still fine. I'm very happy with this purchase.
Hmm.
Um, these, on the other hand, take it another degree further, where they get rid of the wire that connects the two headphones, and they're just earbuds that just sit in your ear.
Hmm.
Um, so the reason why these are even like up the game even harder is the fact that they're gesture controlled. So if you get a call, you're able to like nod and shake your head to like accept or deny a
Hmm.
call. It does active noise canceling, but they have touch sensitive sides. So if you swipe your like one of your ears, it'll turn off noise canceling, so you can hear someone talk to you. So you can have a conversation, and when you're done, you kind of just swipe your ear, and it go back to what you're doing,
Hmm.
which is great because having to take your earphones in and out constantly is not fun. Especially with these that you would like lose really easily because they're just earbuds. It's in your neck.
Yeah.
Um, and it also just tracks. It does like fitness tracking. Those were like
That's
the
it.
biggest. It does.
Like how much the calories your head is consuming.
It's like on the same level as like a basic Fitbit. Is how
Okay.
much they would track. And
Really?
yeah,
That's a feature I did not know about.
it's a kind of a. It's just another thing. You're just like, oh, it's a check mark in the box, I guess. Like I didn't actually need that because
Yeah.
I have this, and also your phone tracks inherently if you have an iPhone.
Hmm.
Or sometimes I think Samsung S Health has it. There's a few other companies that do a lot of that
Yeah.
stuff. Um, it's pretty cool.
Yeah. I
It's
mean,
pretty cool.
like it's the idea of just having like plugs you put into your ears with wires is great and everything, but like there's always a problem of like what happens when you like super miniaturize any piece of technology. It's always the battery life that suffers. So Jeff, how did they kind of get around like how is the battery life first? And like I'm assuming it doesn't have that great of battery life, probably maybe 3 or 4 hours. How do they kind of get around that?
It's pretty much around that. I don't know the exact amount. God, I looked at their site a few seconds ago. I'll take another look at it. Um, I think they get around 3 to 4 hours
Hmm.
battery life.
It's not great.
It's not amazing,
Hmm.
but also I'm not constantly listening to like these get like my X1s kind of get around like 6-ish hours if I'm
67.
like
Okay.
being pretty conservative. And like if you're working out like a couple hours, or you're not even actually working out a couple hours, you're usually working out for about an hour.
Hmm.
That's like 5 or 6 sessions. And so I assume that the same cases with the Broggies. It depends on how they do their battery saving. Like maybe if you're not doing anything, it'll like power down less. I'm
Hmm.
not really sure if that the hourage that they're giving us is going to be something that it's like
Hmm.
constantly listening to something. One thing's for sure is that they're not going to be very cheap.
Yeah.
They're going to be like around 300, I believe.
That's a lot of money for
Actually,
really really small headphones you can lose really easily. But like there is a carrying case for it, right?
there is, and they have like a wireless charging thing, like the case that they sit in wirelessly charges them.
Okay.
Um, I don't know if that's a extended, like you have to buy it to get it, or
Yeah.
not, but that's kind of the deal. Yeah, they're $300.
Yeah.
They come in black and white.
Hmm.
Not that it really matters.
Yeah, it's gonna look like everyone is kind of like it. Do you remember when everyone used to have those Bluetooth headsets?
Yep.
I mean, those kind of fell out of popularity, you know.
Yeah, I wonder why.
It's just because, you know, like you look like a D-bag with them on.
I guess, but like, did anything replace them, or did people just start using their headphones instead?
I think it was just one of those that I don't think a lot of people talk on the phone as much anymore. They usually get everything via text or via smartphone stuff and notifications. I don't think calling is as big of a deal anymore as it is like unless you're in the office. So
Huh.
it's like it became like a less kind of necessary accessory.
Okay, so in terms of battery power, you get 3 hours
Hmm.
of battery on the dash, and then there's a carrying case that you can wirelessly charge them into.
Hmm.
That has 5 recharges worth on them,
Oh, okay.
which is kind of nice. They also have 4 gigs of memory integrated into it, so you don't have to bring your phone
Wait,
along for
there's
you.
4 gigs of memory in there?
Hmm.
Sweet mother.
So you can
There's
just
so
like,
much technology inside these little freaking
I
headphones.
know they're tiny. That's like, I can't believe like how much they managed to like jam into there, because they're small, like they're really small, and they
Yeah,
actually look pretty good. Like at least the models that they picked make it look really good.
yeah.
Like they don't look like they stick out a ton, and they just kind of look kind of like
Like
subtle.
they pick like models with the biggest ears ever.
Yeah, or they like maybe they like photoshopped it or something. I'm not sure. But well, actually, I'm looking at a video of it right now, and it doesn't look that bad. So these are going to be very cool. They've been shipping out to the backers recently, so you
Mhm.
should be able to buy them in the next few months if you pre-order
Yeah,
now. Probably around February, I think, is when they're going to start shipping.
yeah,
$300. I think the jury's still out on how they sound, because that's also a
yeah.
big thing. Because if you're into that, it's kind of a big deal.
Well, yeah. And like with all things with the bleeding edge, it's usually expensive, like right in the beginning. Like Oculus Rift is having the same kind of like PR problem, is that like what they forecasted to be the price is not what they got. It's a much more expensive piece of hardware than they kind of originally advertised.
Yeah, that was, and there. I said back in the last episode we talked a little bit about the pricing
Mhm.
of the Oculus, and they were like, ballpark 300, and they're
Yeah.
trying to be a little bit more than that. But still, hey, they're shipping. They're shipping, guys. It's happening finally. We're still waiting for the HTC Vive to do the pre-orders, which are happening, I think, end of February,
Yeah.
and
Like,
we don't know how much that is yet. So fingers crossed that it'll be cheaper, but it probably won't be.
it probably will be around the same price.
Yeah, it probably will be.
Again,
Um,
like
mm,
that's one of the things, and like the bleeding edge is the fact that it's a little bit inconvenient at first because in terms of like we were talking about this before too. It's like sure you're buying the headset, but it also has that asterisk of is your computer even powerful enough to like run the programs and stuff to be attached with it, you
yeah,
know?
there's the hidden cost of using your PC
Mhm.
and making sure you have the specs for the PC, which I need to upgrade my graphics card actually for it. Um, Probably should get on that, I guess. I'm looking. I don't know. I probably will. I want to buy one. I want to buy one, but I want to wait until see what the HTC is offering in terms of price.
Mhm. And in terms of like features and all that, and like the controllers and what have you.
Yeah, what's included? Mm. Good stuff. Good stuff. So that's what's going on with those headphones. And I mean, okay, so let me ask you,
Mhm.
iPhone 7 comes out, doesn't have a headphone jack. Are you pissed, or are you just kind of, whatever, I'll still buy it?
Um, No, I actually wouldn't be like I wouldn't be angry at all. I would just be like, okay, this is gonna be something I have to live with because in terms of everything else, uh, listening to audio on my like like there's a solution for it. There's not like oh it's something I have to live with and it's just my life is crappy now. You know, like the Bluetooth has become a lot better. I mean, I remember when I was really obsessed with making everything wireless. I think every tech guy or every tech person gets obsessed about making like their lives wireless, like making sure that the Chromecast is big in that, like kind of having a stream, like connecting my hard drive to my airport was really a big deal for me. Like I don't want to have to plug in everything anymore. So I don't know why. Like, so I mean, like, it just feels like a natural progression in terms of technology. So my M50s are the only thing that's kind of like little thing holding me back from being like, yeah, I'm totally in. But what the cool thing about the M50s is they have these like removable plugs. So I'm hoping they would have a converter for the Lightning
That
when
would
they
be
come
cool.
out. Yeah, I was like, oh, that would be a perfect use of like your new kind of cabling system. Is like, sell me a $30 cable that will attach to my iPhone 7 and my M50s, and yeah, I'm in. I'm all in because I could care less about losing the ability to plug in my shitty white Apple headphones because they're probably gonna give you like a new set of Bluetooth ones. They're probably the same quality. So if they do that for my M50s, I would be stoked, like seriously stoked. But other than that, nah,
Yeah.
not really, not really a big deal.
Yeah, I don't think it's gonna be a big deal either. A lot of people like the big thing. The reason why we like kind of I wanted to start with the story is that it was kind of a bit of a kerfuffle on like the
Yeah,
rumor. And it's a rumor. It's not even like there's
it's not,
nothing.
it's not, it's not, yeah. But it feels like you did mention the fact that this is ancient technology. Like, tell me, like, talk, like, like what technology has existed that long that hasn't been like kind of like thrown out or reimagined in some way?
I'm sure there's a lot of examples.
Yeah,
Uh,
like
hmm.
cars, Jeff. Cars were pieces of technology that like really didn't take they haven't really progressed in a long time. Like you have your motor, you have your wheels, that was it. Sure, you can put in like like accessories like to make your car a little bit smarter, but other than technology in them now they're not that much different until you start talking about like the cars driving themselves. So it's about
True.
like it's these kind of like older products that they need reinventing, like trains, for instance.
Trains need to be reinvented.
Yes, Japan has bullet trains. They've had them for like decades,
Yeah, that
and
requires like
we
so
still
much
have,
infrastructure.
huh?
It's so much infrastructure though to like implement that.
Yeah, but like in terms of like traveling in the United States, that would be amazing.
Oh, it would be cool. I hope that they actually still
Yeah,
build the bullet train that goes from like LA to SF, I think it was.
yeah, yeah. It will like kind of probably like Bakersfield to like some other one because I'm pretty sure they would only pay for a certain part of it. Like, okay, here's the thing with me and trains because I'm a guy who rides the train often.
You do ride a train.
So there's an excuse for a train if the experience was amazing. Like European train cars, they're like classic and beautiful. There's like dining cars and everything. There's a whole to do. It's all beautiful. There's little rooms and little privacy things. It's like there's a certain romanticism with it. So being in a train ain't so bad because it's kind of like it's an experience. But when you have Amtrak, that's basically a bus on rails. It's awful, and it better just. I just need to get out of it because there's no like luxurious feel to it. It feels awful in there. The Wi-Fi is always terrible. The guy next to you always looks like he wants to hurt minorities. And there's always a guy with like face tattoos.
Really?
Always. Yeah, like 90% of the time I've been on a train, there's a guy with face tattoos.
Maybe you should get a face tattoo to blend in.
Look at this face. Does this look like the kind of face that you put a tattoo on? I'm
I mean,
already threatening and looking enough. Look at
it
this.
doesn't have to be very big. You could just put a small one on there. Just a tear to scare him off.
Like if you look really close to the tear, it's actually a smiley face.
It's like, wait a minute.
You're not that tough.
You're not that tough. I should beat you up. Um, it's going into the whole transportation thing, and I agree with
Mhm.
the train deal. It's kind of Amtrak's not exactly the definition of luxurious. They get you there. That's not saying much.
Yeah, they
Um,
literally just get you there. It takes longer and it's shitty and it feels weird.
Recently, at the most recent car show in Detroit, Chevy finally announced and showed off the Chevrolet Bolt, which is gonna be
Ooh.
exciting. It'll be the first mass marketed car. I think will beat. I'm not sure if it'll beat out Tesla in terms of how soon it comes to market. It probably will. I'll bet you it will. They're planning
Mhm.
on it coming into market next year in 2017. It'll be a full electric vehicle. It'll be under $30,000, and
Whoa,
it'll go for over 200 miles on a charge. Um,
it's amazing.
Pretty crazy. This is
Yeah.
exciting because it's finally we got a big manufacturer that's on board that's not Tesla, and people are excited about it. People are really excited about it, and their impressions when they took it to the show were positive. So they're going to support inside the car for the console. They're actually going to support Android Auto and Apple CarPlay. Thank
Oh,
God,
wow.
cross-platform on both of those. They don't have to like get stuck with their shitty interface, which they will have one. I don't know if it'll be shitty. It'll probably be okay.
You're not like shitty tech lovers. They will have their own like proprietary software on there.
I swear to God, like I don't know what it is about. Like they can't design a UI to save themselves.
Well, because they're designing everything else around it, so it's like kind of like an afterthought for them. There's like probably one guy using MS DOS designing it.
Yeah, I heard that a lot of the car interfaces are actually running off a form of BlackBerry, and that's how BlackBerry is actually staying in business. Is
Really?
by yeah giving up their apparently their I guess their OS is very good for running on embedded systems, so that's kind of cool. That being said, I'm excited because finally EV is going to become a thing. It's going to solidify it. It won't be coming out until next year, of course, but you know,
Yeah.
I'm excited. I love electric cars.
Yeah, I mean, like that was basically Tesla's mission to begin with too, was like to kind of force other manufacturers to like want to get into the game. Like Elon Musk has been like kind of adamant in saying Apple's gonna make a freaking car, you guys. He's basically just like it's kind of like the worst kept secret is Apple's gonna make a car, and everyone's gonna like kind of like when Apple does something, people start paying attention, and this is kind of like that too. It's like Tesla's doing something, and now big manufacturer like Chevy is taking into account like the things people want. It's basically what the thing that people want now is electric cars. I mean, and then you start getting to the idea of like solar panels, and they're like, oh, you can just use your freaking like ceilings and stuff to like charge your car. That would be amazing. That's a future, dude.
I'm excited.
Yeah. Definitely like a Tomorrowland kind of like I want that future, like all shiny and clean.
It's so funny that everything's kind of coming together. Like there's so transportation as a service is becoming more of a thing where people use Uber and Lyft, and I use them quite often when I'm in the city. Because it's really affordable. It's super affordable. Like if you're not at like peak hours at like, like after 2 a.m. when everybody gets out of a bar, like you're paying really low like prices for a really convenient service. And then there's also autonomous vehicles where Google's going to completely remove the fact that there's even a driver at all.
Yeah.
And then there's going to be, also like manufacturers creating electric vehicles, and then there's tech companies who are like working with car manufacturers to make like autonomous vehicles, and everything's kind of just everybody's kind of like got so many things kind of going on, but nothing's like in the air, and everything's in the air and nothing's like solidified yet, so it's kind of this
even Obama was like in his State of the Union was like pushing for reinventing the way we think of transportation, so that's also a thing. Like you have some like government interests in like kind of pushing the technology forward,
and that's great because we need it as like our country is very big.
It's an understatement.
Yeah, like people give like American shit like, oh yeah, everybody's got a car, and like you're like ruining the environment and driving stuff, but like shit's far, dude. Like to go like somewhere like in the city, you have to drive there, you have to like do all these things, and I can't even just take like it's not simple to just take public transportation to get to the city for me.
It's so shitty.
It's terrible. Like I have to take like multiple buses to get to the place I need to go. And the train, BART's great, but it doesn't go everywhere. Like it's still like they had plans in the 1950s to like expand it out to like really far reaches in the Bay Area, all the way down to like San Jose, which they're still working on. And it's still not there yet. And it's hard to do because there's a lot of land that we have to like cover and get rights for, and you have to have someone that funds it. And there's a lot of hoops you have to jump through. So I'm just glad that we're coming up with solutions to make our lives easier, and hopefully in the future I don't have to own a car, which I'm kind of
I mean, like the numbers are like a lot of people aren't getting your driver's license anymore. It's like a downward like following trend. Like people are more into sustainable uses, like sustainable like ways of transportation, like biking, like stuff like that. You don't need a car in a small town, really. And when you do need, to go to grocery shopping, you can use an Uber or something like that. But for most people, you don't need a freaking full-on vehicle that you have to pay insurance for, you have to pay for gas, all that stuff. Like when I'm inconvenienced by the fact that I need to take a cab to work because it's raining, I'm all like, during the entire summer, I paid absolutely nothing for my transportation. So it's just like it evens out. And even then, to get to work, it's only $4.
That's worth it. I mean, because like you buy the car, you pay for the insurance, you pay for the gas, and then you pay for the upkeep. It's like there's like.
And then in the future, you need to buy a new car because you will get into an accident, not because of you, but because of everyone else.
I hope that's not true because I've yet to get into an accident, and I've
Hey Jeff,
for years.
Bye.
Whoa. Drink from my water glass here. Yes, future is bright. The cutting edge is great, but the cutting edge is also not here yet.
Yeah,
and I mean,
that's the whole point of the cutting edge. It's not a fully kind of realized concept. It's because we're still kind of attached to the way we used to do things that it hurts to kind of do something new and different.
I think that's why I like it. I like being.
You like the pain?
I like the pain.
You're like you're a tech masochist.
I am. I like Bitcoin.
Then why aren't you using a Samsung Galaxy S2?
Because I'd rather just have the engineering of my lovely iPhone. Also, Apple respects my privacy, so boom on that. Because the downside, like all said and done, the Chevy Bolt's going to be an electric car, which means you're going to have to plug it in somewhere to get it charged. Because if I wanted to drive from like here to LA, it's not really going to happen. I'm going to have to stop somewhere to get charged.
Well, I mean, like that's almost every car ever is you have to like stop somewhere to get gas.
Yeah, but there's the infrastructure is just not there yet. Like I can't. Like I'm seeing more and more where like I
go like where am I going to stop? Bakersfield to charge my electric car?
Like I don't want to stop there.
You're crazy.
I had to replace a car tire there once. It was terrible.
There was this really interesting concept like of like these kind of electronic scooters that like across like what their idea was, like nobody likes to kind of like sit there and wait for their car to charge. So they would have these stations in like some places that you can just get to and then swap batteries with the station.
Yeah, that was oh god, what country did that?
Is like somewhere maybe China or like Japan or something like that, like electric scooters.
Yeah,
they like just swap out the things.
They used a standardized battery, and they just like you just kept on going, and it was like slowly growing. People were actually really using, which is a great idea because it's faster, it's more economical, it's safe for the environment. Maybe it might be. It should be safer for the environment, but it depends on the how they make the batteries and how they dispose of them. That's another thing. Yeah, that might be. I mean, that also could be applied to cars. If I don't think that anyone's designed it for a car yet, because they would have to be huge,
pretty freaking big.
Lines of people just like trying to get their cars like swapped out, and they're heavy. But not to shit on EV or anything. We're getting there, guys. We're getting there.
We're big supporters of the EV.
Tesla's got their like supercharger stations, whatever they have like lined up around California. So there's like some infrastructure put in. I wonder if the Bolt will be able to, if they'll have like cross compatibility with other charging methods, because they did release their patents for that. So I wonder if that will be a thing.
Don't be proprietary, bitches. Don't be that way. Don't do that.
Cool. Is there any other topics? Oh god, this stupid video. I need to get off this page.
Hey, just what I forgot to mention? Remember when people are all mad that Apple ditched the 30-pin?
Yeah, I remember that.
And I was just like, why are you people all mad?
So mad because all their like gadgets didn't, or like they had like a whole like everybody bought like a bunch of chargers for the walls. Like I have to like buy them again.
Like I still remember like people were like, my iHome won't work anymore. I'm like, your iHome probably had a terrible speaker, and now you can just use a Bluetooth to just have your speaker running without wires. So you can have your phone with you.
Or you could just Chromecast music, Chromecast
exactly.
Audio works now. It's not a big deal.
Exactly. So come on, you guys. Come on, bleeding edge. It's sharp, but it's not gonna kill you.
Yeah, it won't kill you. It'll hurt you for a little bit.
You know,
Like,
like,
yeah,
you know,
like
little jab at you a
whatever's-
little bit. No jabby.
Because everybody's switching to like USB-C, and like
Yeah.
that's definitely going to be an inevitable thing where everybody's going to swap to that in like the next year or two.
Yeah. It's curious because like, I was like, Apple invested a lot in Lightning ports. So
They
I really,
did.
yeah. Like I mean, like they when you saw like the Magic trackpads and all that, they're all Lightning. You know, so it's.
Pencil.
Mhm.
Yeah, like yeah, keep going, keep going.
No, I mean, like, it's just curious, like, to see what, like, we talked about the MacBook really briefly, like, having one USB Type C connector in them. I mean, why not have, like, a freaking Lightning port on there too, so it can be charged with your, through, your USB cord and stuff like that. It's just weird. I mean, it's not that big either.
Yeah, I kind of wonder what their plan is, because it's going to be kind of sad, because like I think Lightning to USB-C will hurt more than 30 pin to Lightning will. Because it's just, I think people just have been consuming more before, because like 30 pin was like, what was the last phone to have 30 pin? Oh,
I think it was 5S.
Was it 5S? I thought it was
Is it? No, sorry.
4S. I think
It's 4S.
I think the 4S changed.
4S, yeah. I think you're right.
I'll have to look that up. Not sure. It was either the 5 or the 4S.
No, I think you're right. It was the 4S. Because the 5 was like, oh, redesign.
Okay, yeah, you're probably right. And let me tell you one thing. Having Lightning means that you don't have to ever guess which side is which.
Yeah, which is basically the same thing as USB Type C.
Yeah, I love that. It's
Same
the
benefits.
best. Oh my god, like that's worth it just for that. Like I don't even care about the other things and their benefits. Like I don't have to like guess, because I don't know how many times you've done this, but like you've like put in a USB like drive and you're like, oh, that didn't fit. And you like flip it to the other side and you like try to put it in again, like didn't work. What the hell? And then you go back to the first one and it works.
Yeah, that happens to me all the freaking time.
It's like some weird quantum state of like it just
like
changed.
You have to try 3 times. It's just a rule of nature.
It's so dumb. It's dumb. There is a few more stories. Not a whole lot to talk about.
Just few quick updates.
A few quick updates. They gave a battery estimate for the Microsoft HoloLens.
Ooh.
Which,
damn it, I'm gonna lose that bet, aren't I?
Yeah.
Vaporware bet.
Oh man.
Hey, but I think I'm gonna win the Bitcoin bet. That shit's gonna disappear.
Well, how much time do we have?
I don't remember. Like, I think with Bitcoin, it's just like if it became a thing.
We had like 5 years, I think, right?
Yeah.
5 or 10. I don't remember. It was a while. It's like $5 we had on the line.
Yeah.
The Microsoft HoloLens will have about 5.5 hours of battery life if they're doing like medial things, like you're checking email or you're like doing normal tasks, nothing intense. But once you switch to an intense task, like you're doing like 3D application stuff, they say it's going to change to like maybe half of that, depending on what.
So can you just like wear a battery pack as a belt and plug it in? That would be kind of cool.
Would it be cool?
Or like a vest?
Oh yeah, okay, maybe like a suit.
A suit, like a power suit.
Like
the hollow suit.
The hollow suit.
The Hollow Man.
Hollow Man. It's the horror movie where he's so powered.
He's all just like, you guys, it's so cool.
He's like covered in solar panels, so you can just like hang on, I need to go recharge, and he like walks outside.
You just walk outside, he just sits there checking his email. That's the best version of that story.
Oh, what a terrible life that would be. Yeah, guys, gotta go charge my suit.
It's the only time he'll ever step outside is to charge his like bodysuit.
Well, I guess this is okay. I mean, I didn't really have an idea of like how much battery life I expected the HoloLens to have.
Yeah,
2.5 hours to 2 hours is like pretty good, because I mean, I think if I'm thinking of like an average gaming session, I'm using it as if you're using like an intense 3D task. That's probably fine.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a long time to be like standing up and like moving around and stuff. Like you're probably gonna take a break at some point to like go and charge it, which is I think 2.5 hours is pretty good for what that thing does.
2 or 3 hours, yeah. I mean, if you think about it, it's like always first generation things always have terrible battery life, just terrible. Like I was like thinking about it today, like wow, my MacBook lasts 9 hours. This is amazing. Remember how long like laptops used to like last?
Yeah, it was like
4 hours.
Like 4 hours. Yeah, they were really, and you had to get these huge packs, like you get expansion battery.
Yeah.
It's
Like
cameras.
you know how when I'm bored, I watch old Steve Jobs keynotes.
Yeah.
So I was doing that. I was like, he's like, you guys, it lasts all day. 4 hours of battery life. It lasts all day. I'm like, that's not a thing anymore. It's so not a thing. It's just yeah, like with the bleeding edge, battery life always suffers. But you know what's the best thing about the first generation? There's always gonna be a second one.
Yeah, that's true. You always, if you're like one of those people that are like the holdouts, like just gotta wait until the second generation, like the iPhone, not iPhone Watch,
Apple Watch, iPhone Watch,
iPhone Watch.
Hola, señora.
Someday. Hopefully the second one will. All I really care about is for your
day and a half
wearables is like day and a half is fine.
Day and a half. I'm -2, but I mean like, I'm pretty sure you can do that, like a day and a half on the current Apple Watch. I've read people who said, yeah, it'll last me a day and a half because you don't get like 600 emails a day.
Yeah, I just need it for like text messages, calls,
and just basically notifications. Just if it's your notification center, that'll be great.
The new.
That's what I'm hoping, man. Like my Groupon box.
Oh yeah! So when are you getting that?
Next Monday.
So for those who are not in the know, what is the Groupon?
Okay, so I was tweeting about here. So there was so you know how like last week everyone was all into the lottery thing. People are like buying tickets left and right and spending a ton of money. Like I think my family as a whole spent $40 on it. And I was like, so what do you get at the end of it? The chance like $1 billion or whatever. But at the end of it, really, no one was gonna win any money. Really, like everyone like hopes you're that one guy who beat the odds. No one ever really is that person.
Didn't like 3 or 4 people like actually win? Like actually got the same numbers for the
but out of like millions upon millions upon millions of people doing it.
Yeah, so it's like, fun to dream though. About.
It's nice. I mean, like the difference between winning with 1 ticket versus 2 tickets is not like anything real. Like either way, it's gonna be like the equivalent of getting like struck with like 10 lightning bolts at once. Yeah, it's insane odds. In any case, so it was that same week, and I was all like, I saw this Groupon for like, hey, here's a random tech box filled with 7 items for $40.
So what are the 7 items that they could be?
It could be like like things from Groupon, like maybe a wireless Bluetooth like headset, maybe a wireless Bluetooth like kind of speakers, or like like a battery pack. But they said like 1 in 300 chance of getting an Apple Watch or an Xbox One or a PS4, and almost like 1 in 300 chance. That is like a lot better than the freaking Powerball. So I decided to pull the trigger and just buy it. It was like payday, so I was like, I'm gonna buy something for myself.
When's it getting her?
Yeah, Monday.
Wait.
Yeah.
Oh, next Monday. Oh,
yeah, next Monday. Yeah,
that's right. Because we had a 3-day weekend.
I'm so excited.
Well, for those who are interested in unboxings, like I am, I love unboxings. Pay attention and check out Tertius's Twitter feed. You think he'll be live streaming it on Periscope?
Hopefully.
Buffet Day?
At Tertius Buffet Day.
That's right.
Yeah.
If you want to find out anything I've been tweeting about, which I actually got a lot of retweets on a few of my tweets. I've been very proud of it. I took
You're like this guy playing. I'm so cool.
Playing the piano and stuff, and that actually got a lot of play. I was very proud of it.
Very fancy.
You can check out my tweets at Jeffrey A. Barron. We post fairly often, and you can check it out if you want to learn more about our show. Or not at techlaundrypodcast.com is our site. We're available on Acast, acast.com/techlaundry, or you can download their app, Acast. We have all of our stuff available on their player and stuff. That's who's doing all of our hosting. Thank you very much for that. Also, if you're listening to it we are now playing ads on our
Yeah.
show.
Like you might have like noticed that in the beginning of the show. It's pretty cool.
Pretty cool, guys. Don't you love ads? I know
Yeah.
I love ads.
I love ads. I mean, like, you know, it helps your creators and stuff.
Helps us.
Make content.
So disable ad block if you have it.
Please.
just this once to just give us a play, and then it gives us a little bit of help.
Yeah.
We are on Patreon, so if you wish to contribute a few dollars, whatever makes sense, patreon.com/techlaundry. And is that all? Is that all for this week?
That's pretty much it. That's awesome.
It's pretty good. So lots to look forward to. Is there anything coming up in the next week that you're excited about?
Not sure. I'll let you know a couple hours before we record.
That's right, Jeff. You don't believe what just happened. Yeah. That's all for this week's guys. And until next time,
watch Star Wars again
and do your laundry. Tech laundry.
Ah!
I could totally imagine us at like a live show saying that. Like,
I don't think people would come watch us do a live show.
You never know.
People do stupid things.
I could just imagine like just an entire crowd going like what time is it? Tech laundry, and they like chanting it. And
nobody would. Oh my god, Jeff!
It'd be the dumbest chant, but I think it'd be so funny if like at least 100 said that.
No, it should be called wash it.
Tumble dry. Fabric softener.
Okay, I'm stopping this.
All right, I'm stopping.
Oh my god, that was embarrassing for everyone. It was still live, Jeff.